Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Here's Catastrophe box for Ocean Crisis. This is the full big box expansion. When I say big box, I mean tiny. You can see it's really cool how there is an oil spill and there's an oil liner going down. It really tells you what you're going to get in this box. You're going to get an instruction manual, which we'll take a look at in a few minutes. This brown bag that you got in the original box, which is kind of weird. You're going to get some big miniatures. It looks like there's a whale miniature, an oil tanker, and then maybe an anchor or bobber, and a couple oil spills are in here. You're going to get some new round cards, a special event. You're going to get, let's see, some new scenarios, oil tanker spiller, ocean project, a ghost net, and a beached well. We'll take a look at those. And you're going to have a whole bunch of tokens. It looks like that's a dead whale, unfortunately. A bunch of oil spills. Here's some nets in here. These tokens are really nice. So a lot in this box, I think. You know, you get two new missions and 2 new scenarios, which is a lot considering there were only 3 of each in the main box. So that's mainly what you're going to be getting in this one. So the rule book is going to fold out. You have a picture of all the components, which is a MUD, some expansion rules, how to do the special events. It will open up, tell you about what the missions are, the scenario with the ghost net, and each of the scenarios and additional victory conditions. So just kind of an explanation of what you get. You're going to need the base game in order to play this, but what you get here is pretty good, and I was able to understand it rather quickly. First thing you're going to get are these special events. These are a little bit harder than the standard game. You're going to have a bunch of 2, 3, 5, so you won't know exactly how things will go out. You'll shuffle the 2, 3, 5. You'll have your 6 at the end and 1 on top, and then you're ready to go. And this will just have a different order that things will come in. There's a typhoon that hits, and a lot of garbage comes up. Daily life. You're going to have an ocean festival, a rainstorm. So this is a little bit harder, not quite impossible, but a little harder than what would be the standard game. So the whale's going to be very easy to use. You're going to start here on the rightmost beach space, and he's been beached. Each round, you can put meeple or additional meeples. Now, cards and other effects will apply here, just a number of meeples, and then you have a difficulty of 5. You will roll it. If you're successful, let's say I was successful, he would move on to the next location. If you're unsuccessful, he would just stay where he is at. Once you're able to push him back in here into the water and he's safe, then what you can do is you can use him to block off these locations. So if you would turn this and garbage is going to come off in the garbage city like it normally would with the arrows, it would not here. He would block it and it would stay there. So he can be very, very helpful as the game progresses. With the beached well scenario, you're going to have 4 rounds to complete that. If not, the well will pass away and you will not be able, you're going to see unfortunately a dead whale eating garbage here. This will come out on there because you will not be able to defeat him after 4 rounds. So you pretty much have to successfully push him each round, 3 of the 4 rounds, otherwise you're going to lose this. For the purposes of this, I'm going to assume you had to play Ocean Crisis, and we're going to be talking about the mission Ocean Project. So in this mission, your vacuum is already going to be. You don't have to earn it in this game. What you're going to be trying to do is upgrade it to this ocean project. So what you're going to need to do is get a 5, 4, and 4. You're going to be taking these from the rivers when you clean it, not the beach. In this case, you need a 6 and a 5 in order to get this upgrade. So either one of these, this one's movement, and this one is a power up. So once you fulfill 5, 4, 4 or a 6, 5, then this would come out and replace your vacuum. So what this is going to allow you to do before you move this at the end of the round, I can move this to the 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 spot. So any of these spots, I can leave that there where usually it's static. I can now move it around. That's if I get the 5, 4, 4. Now, if I get the 6 and the 5, I can upgrade it and I can put it in between 2 locations. So in this point, it would clean the 3 and the 4. So if I had tiles on both of these, I could clean up both of these spaces here. So that's if I have upgraded it using the 6 and the 5. So that's what the Ocean Project's going to do for you. It's going to give you this upgraded power vacuum that you can move around and get multiple spots, but it will take you focusing on the rivers maybe a little bit more than you would normally and give you something additional to do. So the Ocean Project's really fun to play with. So what you're going to do is during setup, you're going to place these 2 on the 1st and 2nd spots. You're going to have a net out on the board during setup. Then, as tiles come out, they will get tangled up in the net and they will be stuck there. Now, in order to remove these spaces, you will have to defeat both of these in 1 turn. So you wouldn't have a situation where you could do just 1. So you'd have to put 2 people here, and if you fail at 1, you can't get rid of the garbage and this. If you're successful in doing that, and let's say I was able to accomplish that, then I would take the net and I would put it on this space, signifying that I've accomplished that at least 1 time. So if you had a net on these locations with these garbage, and this ended up coming down through here into one of the arrows. Doesn't matter which space hits it, this is going to suck it up, and the net will be down on Garbage Island. As you can see, it's going to take up 2 spaces. If both of these nets end up down here, you're going to lose, because in order to win the scenario, you have to save at least one of these nets. If they're both in Garbage Island, you're not going to be able to save them. So it's an insta-lose if both these come up. Keep in mind that the vacuum, if it's activated, can also suck up the net. So you want to be very careful when these nets are on the board and how to get them off. When the game is set up, the oil tanker will be placed on the half beach, half ocean spot, and 2 oil spills will be there. During the planning phase, players can put their meeples out on the oil spill locations. If there's garbage on there, they will increase the difficulty by 1. So there's a 3 here with an oil spill, will make that a 4 difficulty. If you're successful, you could possibly get rid of the garbage, but the oil spill would stay there. Let's say I only had a combination of 3, not the 4. The oil would stay there, but the tile would be removed. Now the oil is removed if it ends up down here in the garbage area, or if the power vacuum ends up sucking it up. So those are 2 ways the oil can be removed from the board. Now you can go over here with the oil tanker and take care of him. Upgrades and enhancement cards are not effective, but the number of meeples do. You will need a difficulty of 5 in order to defeat him. Now the first time, you stand him up on his side, and the second side he's savaged, you put him on his scenario card. So you would just put him right here the second time you're able. So if he's here the first time, you kind of lay him down, and if you're able to beat him to 5 again, you put him over on this spot right here. It's fine if the oil gets sucked up. The only win condition is you have to get the oil tanker off of the board. If the oil tanker is still on the board in any 2 of his abilities, either standing up or if you beat him just 1 time, you would lose the game, even if you accomplished and Garbage Island isn't full. If you get him off, you still need to clear Garbage Island, but you'd be able to win the game. Here's the Catastrophe expansion. I have to say it's a pretty good expansion. You know, having more of these missions and scenarios and having some of the new stuff like the well coming out is really, really neat. I don't think it's absolutely necessary to have this. I think there's a lot in the base game that you're going to enjoy and be able to play. If you're wanting more missions and more scenarios, you're wanting more from the game, then this is absolutely where you would look at. I enjoy having a lot of these different varieties. My family really likes this game. We're having a lot of fun with it. So being able to continue with the Catastrophe and having more of this stuff, I think the well is really, really good. I think this is a really good piece to have. And if you have the animal cards, you're going to want to get this miniature, this little meeple guy too. So for me, this is probably like maybe a step down. If the base game's like an 8, this might be a 7. I don't know that you need to get it right off the bat, but if you want to add some legs to the game, this is something that you absolutely want to add. I do like what's in here. What's in here is very, very solid, but I don't know that you're going to need it from day 1. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you liked it, please like it and hit that little subscribe button. That really helps out the channel, lets us know that you're getting the videos that you want. If you agreed or disagree with what I said, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I promise that I will comment back. Thanks for watching, and everybody else, keep playing games.